It's a little after 9 a.m. Got up and showered fairly early. I think because my brain was buzzing a little bit from the video stuff that I'm trying to do. I've put some thought into more specifics of the organization of the video for Be Kind. And I think that since the sound of the walking is going to be the same and is the through line for all four of the movements, then the visual background style for the video should also be as close to the same as possible. So even though the edge work and sketch stuff that I was experimenting with emulates the style that was used in the original video, I think that I need to make it exactly the same with the forest footage. It's just about 11:30. I actually ended up spending the morning creating some new mock-ups of the scenes that I wrote for Felicity and also fine-tuning a couple of small spots on the score. So no work with Max yet, but I'm going to get pretty deep into it this afternoon after lunch. So the plan is to take all of the individual tracks that are in Be Kind and apply a different Max video effect personality to each one, and then take all of those and mesh them together into one final composite. So it's a little after 4 o'clock. I was working pretty casually today, but I was still able to get the first steps of the forest setup to happen and the transition from the forest stuff in very refined edge work to not refined edge work. And then I spent a good part of the afternoon, aside from that, finding a bunch of various B YouTube videos that are all Creative Commons Zero, public domain, that I can then use the footage for, screw the calming music, but then I can take this footage and I can start to do some interesting things with it in Max. Dinner tonight was spaghetti and meatballs. There was a vegan option for like faux meatballs that were pretty indistinguishable from the regular meatballs, and it was all very tasty. There was tiramisu for dessert, which I did not partake because espresso caffeine in the evening, not my jam. It's a little after 10:30. Just got done watching a documentary film on Anselm Kiefer, and it was pretty fascinating. And the documentary was also done in a very artsy style, and it was really, really good. There were parts of it I had issues with, but for the most part, I really liked it. There was something in particular in there that might inform a future project of mine that involves video art if I start to go a little bit more in that direction. Earlier I was working in Max, and I decided that my approach to how to create this video is a little wrong. I was thinking that I would just create snippets and have Max be the final player that throws all of it together. But it's clear from the experimentation that I did today with a bunch of the different Vizzie modules that it's going to be easier for me to manipulate the videos or generate video in Max first, export that, and then throw that onto a timeline in a way that I want. I have less than 7 days left in this residency. It's a little surreal that I've been here as long as I have. As I think I said in one of the other videos, I'm ready to wrap this up. The energy of this place for me now still feels really empty, and I think that especially after Susanna leaves 2 days before me, it'll be the right time for me to mentally and emotionally be satisfied in closing this particular chapter of my creative career, this new residency sort of experience. I'm sure that I'll talk a whole lot about it on my last night here. It is my last Wednesday at this place. It's a weird thing to say. Last night before bed, I was going back over my old vlog entries because I'm making some further edits to try to trim them down and take out some unnecessary stuff. And it's strange to think of the first week that I was here as being simultaneously a distant memory and something that still feels recent. Anthony, that minimalist painter, came in on the same day as me. I had forgotten that it came in the same day as me. Today's plan is to try to get done as much video work as possible, especially since tomorrow there's going to be a couple of things happening. One, I'm having a lunch with Susanna to get food outside of the VCCA, and also because it's very close to the end of both of our times here. And two, an email came through that said that there's going to be a bunch of work that's going to be happening back here for infrastructure changes, something to do with laying down some new pipe and doing some other stuff maybe with that whole area. So there's going to be a whole lot of activity that's going to be happening during the day, and I have no idea how distracting that's going to be yet. Part of me that wishes that that was happening today. The weather's supposed to get up to the upper 60s today, even though it's going to also get back down to the 30s by the evening. Tomorrow the weather's only supposed to get up into the lower 50s, I think. So working outside might not be viable tomorrow if I want a different place to go. I can always go to the library or go to somewhere in the residence hall. But if I want to get any significant work done and not be distracted by people, not because they'll distract me, but I'll be drawn to them because I'm always drawn to people, then I'm hoping that I'll be able to come back here and do some work. Just got in my inbox today the email that lets me know that I'm going to be leaving soon. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. It feels like an emotional counterpoint to the email that I received prior to my residency that let me know what I needed to do to prepare to come in. So about a week ago, Sheila had sent an email out to the fellows here to say that Sweetbriar College was going to be visiting the VCCA for open studios, and would anybody like to open up their studios. I said I'd be willing to open up mine, but also that I wanted to prioritize other people since I had already given a presentation over at Sweetbriar and earlier this week. But then I got an email from Sheila today and found out that some of the students that were at my presentation were really big fans of my work and wanted to visit me in my studio here tomorrow as a part of their visit. So I'm flattered. And yeah, I'm going to open up my studio and figure out exactly what I'm going to share with them, and also clean up a little bit around here because the state of the studio is not the best for a public presentation. This one's kind of fun. It's a fractalizer, so makes the larger image by doing videos of all of those smaller versions. I like this one. This is a scrambler that just takes the video and scrambles some of the pixels at a vertical or horizontal basis. We're going to throw in Sketcher into the middle of this. Let's adjust some of the things here. Let's actually invert this. That's better. Yeah, I'm liking this. I think I need to scale this though. Right now it has a very on-off kind of feel, whether it gets any signal versus when it's off. And I want there to be actual transformation of these variables. Right now, if you can see this number, I can divide this by 2000 or whatever, but the scale of this is still all within the same range because the signal is on or off. So I need to change the grain of the audio that's coming in to allow these numbers to have a wider variance. And if I can do that, that means that there's going to be wider variance to the video manipulation. Big siren commotion happening right now. It's moving farther away. I wasn't able to get my phone out quick enough for the first part of it. So I like this effect where there's an increase of fog depending on the amplitude. I had it originally also with the scrambler, but the scrambler de-emphasizes the degree of fog, I feel, a little bit too much. But I'm also thinking about ways that the transformations can evolve and change over time in the piece. So it's possible that at some point I can start off with fogger and then turn scrambler on. Also, once it gets later into the piece, I could also turn off some of the edge work piece of it, the sketcher piece of it, and just have it be in its true form a little bit, but a little bit more extreme, because I don't necessarily want it to be so concrete. Here's an interesting way to keep it subtle. So this is with fogger. Here's with scramble with a low tiling probability. If I start with something super low and then increase, then eventually it turns into that. Or you could do the opposite if you wanted to try to start with a lack of clarity and then change to clarity. Like so. So that's all pretty promising, and I've still only scratched the surface of what I think that I may want to do with some of the material. Dinner tonight was a Mexican-inspired affair with cheese quesadillas, some 7-layer dip kind of thing, chips with beans, etc. and the like. My hot sauce got brought out and was used by several people. I'm really happy about that. Heading to the studio to do some more work on this Max video manipulation stuff. Try to put together the pieces and come up with a form for the 2 video manipulation things that I've come across that I definitely want to use. I also want to create a little bit of order in the studio, since it's going to get visited by outsiders for the first time the entire time that I've been here. Not that I've kept it a slot or anything, but I just want to make it more presentable in general. See that Jeff has already made it back to his new studio. He was in a different place, but when Leslie left this past weekend, Jeff requested a studio change and got it. I don't think anybody has replaced Anthony yet in that spot, or if they have, I haven't noticed because I've been doing my own thing. So I ended up getting a little distracted this evening. Had a chat with Hannah about the windows and about things going on here. And then I forgot that Blizzard was having their Diablo 4 campfire chat about Season 4. So I wanted to watch that and see whether Season 4 was going to be a game changer for Diablo 4 or not. I'm back at this for a little bit, but honestly, I'm a little tapped out. But I did want to summarize what I have done. This is a waveform of all of the B sounds for the first 2.5 minutes of the piece. I loaded that into this video modifier where it's taking this single B video, applying these changes to it based on the amplitude that's coming in. The plan that I have for this is to create different videos that get swapped in for these and just output record those all at once so that I can then bring that export into ScreenFlow, fine tune, and potentially manipulate it further. So I think this is setting up for a good day tomorrow, both to get some good work done in the morning and also to present to the Sweetbriar students in the afternoon if they want to get into any of this stuff at all. I think that we're going to call it. I'm going to go back and just unwind. I'm walking back to the residence. It's about 11 o'clock. I just came from this area. The night is super nice. I can see the main residence hall ahead of me. And it just struck me, I'm going to really miss this place. It's really special. And it's been pretty transformative to who I am as a composer and as a creative. And that I never could have imagined I could actually be. Speaking of freight trains. Yeah, I'm just gonna miss it here.